What's up, hockey fans? Welcome to another episode of Snipe Celly. My name is Dan Bradley, alongside me tonight, Joel Fernino. Joel, we could potentially see a team eliminated from the playoffs tonight. We have the Boston Bruins and the Florida Panthers underway. 1-0 Boston. And I just want to jump right in and start tonight.
Damn.
Does Boston keep their season alive past Game 5?
We're on it.
We're on the ball here.
Hello. Hi.
Hi.
How was your Mother's Day weekend, Dan?
It was okay. I'm trying to remember even what we did this past weekend. Today has been a blur, and remembering 3 days ago took me a minute here. Yes, had a game night with a friends on Saturday night, and then nice. Sunday, called mom, see how things are going at the house and how she's doing well. So how about you?
Went back home to visit mom. She got your message. Your happy Mother's Day.
Okay, good.
She did. She was like, "Oh, that's awesome." I ended up getting a little mini late birthday thing from her as well, since I didn't see her on my birthday, hence the balloons.
Makes sense.
If no one else knew, I was 30 now. Now you know.
Deanna chiming in to say, "Hey, the bell works. How about that?
Let's go!
Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button. It'll tell you when we're live. Almost always going to be 8:00 Eastern on Tuesday night.
7:00 Central. You heathen.
Some variance there. The Deanna's Eastern time.
Well, whatever. Pretty much almost always, except last week when we have to live stream the draft lottery. But I know it was good. Yeah, good Mother's Day. Treated mom. Can only do so much because she deserves the world, so can only do so much. That's about it. Yeah. But you know what? I'm with you. Let's get right into it because, I'm glad you got right into it because that actually goes along with the theme of the question I want to ask. Does this feel like the fastest round of playoffs you've ever seen?
See, it feels like you're as a broadcaster, I hate when I comment on a trend that I see and immediately that trend swings in the exact opposite direction. I say something like, wow, this team's power play has really been coming in hot lately. They've scored on 5 of their last 12 opportunities. They've scored a power play goal in 4 straight. And then that power play goes 0 for 6 that night. Or, wow, this team has gone, 10 games without allowing a power play goal, and then they allow 3 in the first period. So to say this is feeling like the fastest round, I don't want to say that and then have everything end up going to 7 games, but it certainly it could happen either way. With the exception of the Carolina series, where that one's already looking at Game 6. We could see potentially 3 series done in 5 games. The first one potentially tonight with the Bruins, who do have the lead on the road. It's a 1-0 lead at the end of the first period. Morgan Geekie is your goal scorer there. Joel, the way this series has gone, the Bruins have failed to get 20 shots on goal for the game in each of their last 3 games. They have 13 in the first period tonight. They finished an entire game with 15 earlier in the series. Boston got the memo clearly. Shoot the dang puck.
I mean, yeah. Seriously, it's been very. I don't want to say surprising. I don't know. They clearly nearly let Toronto off the hook. So this what we're looking at 3-1 series lead for Florida isn't that surprising to me. To answer your question, do I think they keep it alive past tonight? Score aside, I think so. Even if it was 0-0, I think I was kind of picking the Bruins tonight anyway. You're welcome, Mark.
I have an even more important question here for you. And this comes from Cyclones fan. Gummy check?
Shit.
This guy. This guy right here.
Oh, my God. I completely forgot. Well, I bet. I made a bet. I have to do it now.
It take double. Is that what the bet was?
Next week? Yep. That's
oh boy.
That was the bet. I have to. I am a man of my word, so I have to do it. And no, it will not double every week. I forget.
Oh, but I like that though.
No. Oh, do you just want to talk to yourself while you just have a vegetable of a human over here? Just
honestly, that could be kind of entertaining.
That's true. People
we'll see what kind of thoughts you're able to process on there.
I love it. I'll say. Wait a minute. Oh my God. B-Rad.
How about this, B-Rad?
Long time listener, first time caller. Joel, is that Thor's hammer I see in the background? Yes, that is Thor's hammer. B-Rad. I love that you're tuning in. This is awesome. How's it going, man? A long time listener, first time caller. I love that. I wish we were on the radio. It'd be kind of fun.
I certainly have the face for radio.
Yeah, you do. We're getting a happy birthday shout out. Dan was supposed to tell you Happy Mother's Day for me, and he clearly didn't. So
you never texted me to say the same thing to your mother that I said.
It's assumed.
You know what happens when you assume.
Yeah, you make an ass out of you, not me though.
Yeah.
Happy belated Mother's Day.
Coming into tonight.
Not too bad, you. Not so bad.
Good, you.
And you.
Coming into tonight, I think a lot of people, myself included, thought Boston was probably bowing out. You know, the injury to Brad Marchand tonight, it's significant. 3 straight games you struggled to get 20 shots on goal. The offense has completely dried up. No Brad Marchand in the lineup. Still out concussed from the Sam Bennett sucker punch.
We'll talk about that a little bit. Well, why don't we talk about that?
I was going to say, let's get into that one right now.
I literally promised it on the Twitter. On the Twitter, Jesus. Or maybe I did take the gummy.
The Twitter machine.
You guys got that MySpace?
Zanga.
Oh God,
that's a throwback.
Fun fact: they are headquartered here. I applied to them once. Anyway, yeah, I promised we'd talk about the controversy. So that's all the last game specifically was.
Let's start by asking, was it a sucker punch? Because apparently that's even up for debate.
It's so tough. I was listening to 32 Thoughts today on the way home, and like they were talking about it, and like I guess I do agree with like you had sent like why the hell did they withhold the video from the Bruins? Forget the public. They withheld it from the Bruins for 2 days.
Yeah.
So like
it wasn't something that the Bruins saw until they saw it on the broadcast for the first time.
Exactly. So you kids and your Facebooks and Twitters. That was a really bad old person impression.
Anyway,
I can't tell if you're frozen or you're just.
No, I'm here. I'm just listening.
Oh, you're just embarrassed by me.
No.
Don't answer that truthfully.
No.
It's like it looks. I mean, I don't know if I'd go as far to say it was a sucker punch. Was it a punch, so to speak? Yeah. I mean, it's kind of hard to argue with the evidence. It's right there.
Did hit face.
Exactly.
Whether intentional or not.
Whether intentional or not, like that happens all the time, right? Like that happens. This is the argument that's a little weird to me because obviously Sam Bennett is getting torched. Like, oh, this dirty player, this dirty bastard, like suspend his ass for the rest of the series. It's like, I disagree with that part of the take. Was it egregious? Absolutely. Should he probably get fined for it? Yeah, I'd probably say so because obviously Marchand is out with a concussion, right? Did they officially diagnose him, or are they just holding him out?
They're calling it an upper body injury, but I mean, you
It's
watch the play
right.
and you know what happens. Also, the potentially even bigger issue here is that Marchand was allowed to play for 2 periods after that.
That's
clearly concussed. That's all we had to
They're
do.
late.
Start talking the Marchand play, and all of a sudden Mark is there and ready to jump right in for us.
Deanna and her alarm beat you to the punch, Mark.
So Mark says concussion protocol. That is what we thought.
PK Subban said Marchand was the fire hydrant instead of being the dog on this one.
Wow.
Actually, that is a very good point, though.
That's why PK has the broadcast job.
Oh, hi, Mark. I did not hit her. Sam Bennett to Brad Marchand. I did not hit him. I did not. Sorry, my team's still in the...
Shots fired.
Was that at me? What did I say? What did I say wrong? What did I do wrong?
All we're doing is just repeating what PK Subban said here.
Right? Yeah. Look. Both. I don't even know. I don't know. Where was I going with this?
The should Sam Bennett be suspended?
No, that's where I was going. Thank you. So they mentioned this on 32 Thoughts too. Like we'll bash D-ops all the time, rightfully so, because they're so inconsistent across everything. And it's
for those who don't know, DOPS, Department of Player Safety.
Department of Player Safety, yes. So DOPS for short.
Yeah. They're the ones who hand out discipline, supplemental discipline,
or lack thereof,
or choose not to apply supplemental discipline.
Fine, yes, I would definitely say fine. I don't know, is it too late to do that now? Like, I mean, I feel like a fine should probably be coming. I don't know if it's a little too late for that now. I don't know. Suspended though, no. And here's the thing: as inconsistent as Department of Player Safety is. And this is actually so ironic, but they said it so well on 32 Thoughts, I agreed. They're actually pretty consistent with what they suspend and don't suspend. Now, whether that's how it should be, right? Like whether there's consistency on, wow, why the hell isn't that a suspension? That's a different story. But the one thing they can say is even if they should suspend and they don't, or they shouldn't suspend and they do, they're actually fairly consistent. And this is a play that pretty much doesn't really ever get a suspension. Unless, it's literally hauling off and just like Mike Tyson just uppercut anything, haymaker should be renamed to the Department of Player Danger. That I agree.
Honestly.
Absolutely. So I wouldn't say suspended. No, I do not think he should be suspended. Mark might come after me for that one. But
don't worry, Mark. I think it should have been a suspension.
Well, and here's the thing. Not just the whole consistency thing. Like you see that play all the time in the regular season, and it really doesn't ever get a suspension. Whether it's a missed, again, intent to cross-check and you accidentally punch him, okay, like 6-1, half a dozen. But
we'll get into that one too.
Yes, we will. But even still, I don't think he should be suspended for it. I get it. Marchand was injured. There's so much that goes into it. And I said in the regular season, I was also watching a clip of the Pat McAfee show, and he had Mark Messier on. And Mess said it best. It's playoff hockey, man. It's not for the faint of heart. This stuff, like worst.
I agree. It's not for the faint of heart. It doesn't mean you completely throw the rule book out the window. You still can't punch a guy.
I agree. And he said exactly, the best gets brought out, the best gets showcased in playoff hockey. And sometimes the worst parts get showcased in playoff hockey and in the players because you're willing to do whatever the hell it takes. Well, and your emotions are running so much higher.
This is the worst of everything on the NHL side because you have the referees who missed it on the ice, and I'm not going to knock them here. They did not have a good angle on it. The angles we had on the broadcast really weren't great on that. It wasn't until we got that reverse angle shot way later.
Yep.
That was when we finally saw it. So I'm not going to knock the officials for that one, but you also have concussion spotter who is supposed to recognize and say, hey, Marchand is concussed here.
Yep.
He needs to get out of this game and get evaluated. So that didn't happen. That's a big mistake on the league's part. Then you have the Department of Player Safety, who is supposed to be able to have all of these angles, make an informed decision, and has decided once again that Sam Bennett doesn't serve any supplemental discipline here. We saw last year in the playoffs with his WWE choke slam of Matty Beniers.
Yeah.
In that series. WWE shout out, sure. Choke slam of Matty Beniers, no. Thumbs down to that one.
Sam Bennett doing his best Kane impression?
To bring back the old joke, 18-year-old Sam Bennett, back when he was playing with Calgary. Yeah, way back when. Had a violent hit on Vadim Šimek late on a play where late in the game and puck is long gone and he goes after him and didn't really receive any supplemental discipline for that. I mean, we've seen that this is a history with Bennett of these sheet plays, but the Department of Player Safety, by continually choosing to not fine or suspend, they also later on cannot go back and say, well, there's no pattern of behavior here.
Concussion spotter was concussed. I think half of the concussion spotters in most sports are concussed themselves.
I think they completely neglect their duties come playoff time because they want the best players on the ice.
To answer your question, B-Rad, no, it wasn't a full.
It wasn't a full wind up and go, but
that was my point.
There was still some punch. There was because it concussed him.
Well, that's why I called it kind of almost like a missed cross check because he literally had that motion and the right, or I guess from the angle. Yeah, right.
It would have been his right.
Yeah, the right caught him and it looked like he was cross checking, but not cross checking. It was a cross checking motion because he used both hands. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, and to Deanna's point, that was a really, really bad play. And I don't understand how that one wasn't penalized either. Then to see something again pop up with the same player this year, we're seeing a pattern of behavior as fans, but Department of Player Safety is consistently choosing to not do anything about it. And then when they go back, they can say, well, this player doesn't have a history. And we're going, yes, he does. We've seen all of these dirty plays. And they say, well, those aren't dirty in our book. So
right. And
this is the problem with the Department of Player Safety. And, say what you will about when Shanahan was running the Department of Player Safety, at least then we got video explanations of what the call was and why the Department of Player Safety made that decision. There was video evidence showing, here's the rule, here's the play, here are a couple of angles of the play to show what happened. Here's the decision we made as a result. That level of transparency, outstanding.
Yeah.
And that has completely gone away under George Peros. That's not a thing anymore. And it's so frustrating as a fan and as someone who, we have this show and this platform to talk about the game. It's ridiculous that we keep coming back to this year after year. And Peros is continually the break in the chain of these events.
Yeah, I mean, we go back to that whole Department of Player Danger. Where it's true.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. And Joey chiming in as well. It's a good point too. Keith got suspended for what he's talking about with the stick. The egregious stick, and it's it almost kind of goes against the whole consistency thing. But again, that was when it was Shanahan, wasn't it? 2013 would have been Shanahan.
I think he was in then.
That's what I thought.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. Oh, and we got a live update from Mark. Panthers tied at 1.
Yeah, Sam Reinhart with the goal there.
Actually, I want to go back to one of Mark's comments earlier. Yeah, this game 5 this game 5 is a comical joke with the officiating. I saw the post you retweeted, Mark, from the first period. I was on the bus home. I thought it was an older video. It was oh God, who was it? I think it was Verhaeghe, who basically literally raked the face of Charlie McAvoy. And I forgot who the other Bruins player was, but he literally high sticked both players. It almost looked like a pinball. Like the blade of his stick was a pinball, high stick ball off of the one Bruins player and then onto McAvoy. And then he proceeded to almost rake McAvoy's face with it. No call. And I'm like, okay. I'm not one to usually like chalk up like, all right, like I get it. The refs are against you when you're losing type of thing. Every fan base does it. That's pretty egregious, man. I guess, yeah, man, I don't know. I don't know. But where is this coming from, Mateo? What's happening here?
Because Marco Rossi scored at World Juniors today, while Canada blew a 6-1, or they had a 6-1 lead.
6-1 lead.
Blew it. Marco Rossi scored the goal to tie, and then Canada did win in overtime, but they blew a 6-1 lead in the process.
I didn't realize Bedard became a goalie. Man, he's a trick of all trades, isn't he? It was actually Mateo and I were talking about that. I want Canada to win, mostly for Bedard's sake, but seeing Binnington, fall apart that brings joy to my heart.
Where is?
Excuse me. 5 goals. 5. It's 3 goals in 5 games or 5 goals in 3 games. You get off that pedestal, boy.
I'm trying to find.
Yes, I know I meant jack of all trades. B-Rad, damn it. What are you trying to find? What are you looking at?
I was trying to find the box score from today's game. Player stats.
Oh, Team Canada?
Yeah. Connor Bedard today, 1 goal, no assists. And they don't have plus minus.
They do.
Not on the IHF site.
Oh, he was a +4 in the tournament going into tonight. That was what I sent you earlier. Either way. And
then Marco Rossi goal and an assist.
Nice. So that's perfect. That's jacking up his trade stock.
God, I hate you.
For the record, Mateo and I talked about this too on DM on Twitter earlier. I don't think Garrett trades him, but if you guys are starting to think that it's gonna, he doesn't think so either. Mateo doesn't think so either. But like, I don't think Billy G is stupid. Mm-hmm. And what a stupid move would be considered is trading a young prospect such as Marco Rossi that early without ever. Without giving it a shot. To me, I would compare that to almost like Davidson trading Lucas Reichel, just because.
Yeah, he just extended Reichel, by the way.
Exactly. Yeah, 2-year extension, a steal too. We're not paying him anything. It's basically a prove it deal, and that's okay.
We're going to jump to the Western Conference here for a little bit, and the Oilers and Canucks series. Vancouver up 2-1. Edmonton making the goaltending change. Stuart Skinner out. Calvin Pickard in.
Thank you. For the love of God, thank you.
For Joel, who decided to back the Edmonton Oilers as his Stanley Cup pick.
And Stuart Skinner was looking like he was actually proving everybody wrong. He wasn't like spectacular, but he wasn't.
Yes.
Yeah, he wasn't like, this world beater or anything, but he was proving to be way better than he was in the regular season, at least in the first half. I thought maybe it might not be a big issue, or maybe it's just a flash in the pan type of thing, kind of like Binnington or Matt Murray in the playoffs, right? Like maybe it's, I'm going to get really hot now just for the sake of let's go win a cup. And sure enough, yeah, I mean, Vancouver's a great team. I can't take anything away from them. Like, it just, come on. You got, you're terrible or you're not doing your job when you got Connor McDavid slashing people.
Yeah.
And the game ends too, right at the end of the game. And then he's
he slashes Carson Soucy. Carson Soucy goes to make a check back at McDavid, as happens 150 times a game.
Yep.
Zadorov hits McDavid from behind.
He murders McDavid from behind.
McDavid falls. Susi catches him higher with the cross check than was intended. Zadorov fined maximum amount allowable under CBA. Susi takes a 1-game suspension. And then, oh, by the way, Zach Hyman, who went after Zadorov for hitting McDavid and cut him. Zadorov needed stitches. No fine, no suspension there.
Yeah, again,
going back to the consistency that we talked about earlier in the show.
Yeah.
What is and what's we saw a spear go uncalled in that series already, and no supplemental discipline for that, for a cup check play along the wall. We saw in the Rangers and Hurricanes series, Jacob Trouba, your Mark Messier Leadership Award winner for the year, try to decapitate. What? Yeah, how about that? Like,
when did that happen?
That literally happened today. That was announced today. They started announcing NHL awards. They're announcing the Selke later this week. They're announcing the Masterton later this week.
They're not doing
and then
NHL.
they're building up to the awards show later this year.
But they're announcing the awards already?
Yep. So they announced Trouba as your Messier Leadership Award winner. And, I mean, the only thing I've ever seen Trouba lead with is his elbow. So
or his shoulder.
Yeah. Either way.
Yeah.
He tried to decapitate one of the Hurricanes players, Svechnikov, I think it was, earlier in that series, and nearly injured himself doing so. It's ridiculous.
Real quick, I like what Mateo's saying here. I think you do that. You do what we did with Reichel. I think you're going to do with Rossi.
Except another score update. Bruins take the lead back.
There it is. Oh, McAvoy!
2-point game for McAvoy. He assisted on the first goal.
I have feelings about that.
Ooh, do tell.
Yes, please. Please type those out while we catch up with some of these.
We are here as a forum to share these hockey takes.
Man, if only Edmonton had a young goalie from the 2021 draft from Sweden they could fall back on.
If only.
If only. But you know what? Who needs goaltending? Sarcasm.
That's what we've...
B-Red, I love how proper you did this. Goalies tend to be flashes in the pan. Niemi Antti or Rask Tuukka.
Yeah, again, goalies...
Your dad would be right here.
Goalies are so hard to predict. And exactly, you see... I mean, Connor Hellebuck is going to win the Vezina this year. He has it so locked up. He was far and away the best goalie of anybody in the regular season.
But when that new season starts...
And as soon as the postseason started, everything went away. He has something like a -7 goals saved above expected, meaning he's allowed 7 more goals than was expected.
Right.
He was not good. The team in front of him was not good, but he in particular was just brutal in round one.
Yeah.
You look at a good goalie like UC Saros, who, while Nashville got eliminated, like half those games, he allowed 1 goal or less. He allowed 12 goals in 6 games. You can't ask your goaltender to do too much more than that.
No, the rest of his team just isn't that good. Oh, here we go. On the awards thing really quick. Yeah, so all of the awards are voted on by some type of committee. Yep, players, media, etc. That's true. Why is Messier the only one who has a say? And how is Trouba even a finalist?
That's a really good question.
Is Messier the only one who has a say on that award? Is that really how that works? I didn't know that.
According to Wikipedia, 5 players were honored with monthly awards as selected by the NHL based on the qualification of potential recipients, while the final decision was made by Messier.
Really?
So,
I mean, I guess
from that what you will.
I see a theme here because Messier was on Pat McAfee's show, kind of talking about like how. I mean, he's got the little bit old school in him, right? Like he knows how gritty things are. He actually went as far. I'm about to piss off Mark. Now, this isn't for me though. Messier literally went as far as to say that we'll put a bow on the Sam Bennett thing, but the Sam Bennett play was just a playoff hockey play, and I was like, oh, that's gonna ruffle some feathers, miss. That's gonna ruffle some feathers.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the winners here, and like some of these guys, it makes a lot of sense. You see past wingers: Chelios, Sundin, Iginla, Crosby, Chara, Doan, Alfredson, Taves, Brown, Weber. A lot of guys who, that they're deserving that reward.
Yeah.
And then you see in more recent years, Mark Giordano, who
I agree with that.
Okay,
I agree with that.
But then Trouba is one that really. Oh, actually, you know what? I do have to go back and shout this one out there. Nick Foligno, while with the Blue Jackets, absolutely deserved. I won't argue that one at all. But this one is just so out of left field.
He could win another one if we give him the C before we give it to Bedard.
Yeah, and he probably will be for one more year. We had a review in the goal stands. Good to know.
Well, even the refs were like,
more controversy. Yeah, How can we get Boston out of this goal?
Right.
Because that's another one we've seen. Going back to the consistency.
I do thank you for Foligno.
Goaltender interference. Game 2, Boston player drives the net, scores a goal, was checked into the goalie after video review, no goal. The very next game, Florida cross-checks a player into their own goalie. No penalty called for the cross-check. Goal is allowed to stand.
Well, we're gonna get into that. That's the final thing before we start getting into all the other stuff. But
I'm going to bring it back to Oilers at least for now. The decision on moving Skinner. He has allowed 12 goals on 58 shots in the series. He's at a .793 save percentage and a 4.40 goals against average. Overall in the playoffs, minus 4.6 goals saved above expected. He is there's only one goaltender who is worse, and I just mentioned him. That was Connor Hellebuck, as bad as he was in round 1. Calvin Pickard, 32 years old, making his first playoff start. What a time to do it. And again, Edmonton, we've said year after year now, they haven't figured out their goaltending. They seem to have gotten a lot of other things figured out. Even their defense so far has been better. Not good, but better
solid
than what
enough.
It's been.
It's been good enough to get them to make them a true contender. It's been good enough.
Yeah. But the goaltending, it comes back to that.
I'm worried about it. I am very worried about it.
I do think Edmonton being at home is a much more helpful situation. I also think Carson Soucy being suspended is really helpful because he has been playing very well throughout the playoffs. Means you're going to see a lot more of Ian Cole to fill in those minutes, and he has not played very well in the playoffs so far. To the point where I was seeing Canucks fans saying, "Can we get Ian Cole to serve the suspension instead? Just throw a Soucy jersey on him and go with that." I don't think that one's going to fly.
I think Soucy got the short end of the stick on that one. No, I'm not making a pun either.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure McDavid got the long end of it if Soucy got the short.
He did, but you explained it perfectly. Like, it was Zadorov who basically murdered McDavid, and because of the timing and the angle of him falling, that's where Soucy got the,
right,
decapitation cross-check going there. Like, I really don't think anyone would have batted an eye after watching that video if you switched the punishments. You can fine Soucy, fine. That's fine. Mm-hmm. You suspend Zadorov. Like, that's how it really should be. It's confusing. I don't know. I get it. It's the league, with this league, it's that you're going to get those more rash but quicker decisions when it's Connor McDavid being the one targeted here. That's the best player in the world.
Yeah, Zadorov's mistake was not having a 97 McDavid jersey on the receiving end of his cross-check.
To be fair.
I'm not saying Zadorov should have cross-checked McDavid. I'm just saying get him both. That's all we're asking.
I get it. Well, I hope to God that Calvin Pickard helps out the Oilers, because I am not feeling very good about my Stanley Cup winner right now.
Yeah, that'll worry you a little bit here.
Just a little bit. Also, Deanna. Yes, I agree. Signing Foligno was amazing. He is an amazing leader and a man on and off the ice. You count him as a friend. Can I meet him? Can you pull some strings? I want to meet the man. He seems like someone I want to have a beer with.
Apparently, between Deanna and HP's sister-in-law, you've got connections to try and.
That's true. HP's sister-in-law was just with, who was that? Was it
Foligno and Entwistle and someone else too?
Oh, Connor Murphy.
So
that's pretty sweet. I also when Mark was saying thank us for Foligno, for him and Taylor Hall, thank you.
Hawks fans, of course, are going to have things to be excited about next year. The number 2 overall pick in this year's draft, the loaded prospect pool that they've already got and is going to continue to get better. Oh, and by the way, you're getting Taylor Hall back from injury for next season too. And if he's anywhere close to the level he was at before, I mean, we talked about how coming into the season, we said if Bedard was your leading goal scorer at the end of the year, it's probably a sign that things went pear-shaped somewhere along the way. And sure enough, that was what happened. You had the Hall injury, you had the Corey Perry situation, all those different aspects that you would want Bedard to be more of your playmaker than your shooter. He gets Hall back. He's going to end up with twice as many assists next year as he had this year.
Exactly. Oh, I mean, I'll come to Boston. I've never been out there. I'd love to come out there. That'd be kind of fun. We go see a game, and he says Dan too, by the way.
Sweet. Let's make it happen.
Literally, let's get a suite and make it happen.
I will fly somewhere else and drive into Boston. I hate flying into that airport, but I'll figure out a way to get there and make it happen.
And B-Rad is proving a point because I agree. The Sharks deserve and need Celebrini. And that's the difference. None of us are crying that it was rigged. We're saying good for you. We're happy for you.
All I'm saying is if the Sharks deserved Celebrini this year, Anaheim deserved Bedard last year.
No, they didn't.
That's all I'm going to say.
All I'm going to say is based on what they did with Leo Carlsson, thank God Bedard didn't go to Anaheim.
You don't know that they would have taken that same approach with Bedard.
I don't, but you know what? I'm glad we didn't have to find out.
Anyway. Does Dallas close out Colorado on Wednesday night? And in fact, we can double down on this one because half of our pick segment here.
That's true.
It's a game tomorrow night.
Wow, we're diving into the pick segment already.
Well, yes and no. We're diving into this one for a moment because our next 2 games that we're going to talk about are the games for the pick segment. So I figured I might as well throw the odds up on the screen here and go with that.
I was watching game 4 when I thought Colorado might win, and then Dallas exploded. I think they do close it out. I know that's weird to say when it's Colorado, but I just think Dallas smells blood in the water, and they are going to go in for the kill, and I think they're going to get it, especially on home ice.
Yeah, being at home, and we talked about this last week when we did our pick segment. I told you guys Dallas does not win game 1 at home,
and you convinced me, and we were both right.
and we nailed that pick.
Yes,
and even after Dallas went out to a 3-0 lead early, and you were like, "You're making me regret switching my pick."
And then
I was like, "Relax." And then Colorado scored 4 unanswered, 1 in overtime. It's like I know what I'm about when it comes to Dallas here. I at least got that one.
Yeah.
I do think Dallas closes out as well. I think the other big reason for that, beyond how well Dallas has played, and we've commented on that a lot over the last couple of weeks, the Valeri Nichushkin situation here.
My God, dude.
It's an entirely different tone from the Avalanche organization this time around compared to last year. For those who are unfamiliar, Nichushkin was in the player assistance program. I don't know that it has been officially reported, and I need to be very careful with what I say here. But the heavy belief is that this has to do with substance abuse issue. It has resulted now. He was suspended during the playoffs last year, gone from the team, didn't play, and players last year said a lot of things like, we're here for him. We want him to get the help he needs. We'll do whatever we can to stand by him and make sure that he still feels like he's a part of this team. The tone on that has shifted entirely this time around, to the point where you have guys like Jack Johnson, Johnson would never say a bad word about anybody.
Right. There's a consummate Messier leader. Right
there. There's your leader. Saying, this is the last straw. We're moving on, and I hope he gets help, but it won't be from us. Is basically the tone of what it was that he said.
And it's tough, but hey, sometimes that's if you're at what point do you just have to say, like, you know what? I don't blame Johnson for saying it either. Like, at what point, like, look, yeah, we're here for him, we'll help him. At what point does that not work? And then you're like, you know what, dude, go figure your shit out.
Right. We need to focus on winning. That's what we're trying to do here. And we can help you after the season, but we can't help you right now. You're going to have to get your help somewhere else for now. And that's where the player assistance program has come in. Nichushkin has been suspended a minimum of 6 months without pay. So he will not be. And that
starts.
That's effective immediately. So
that's because he's in
the program now.
The program now, and then so 6 months, right?
Right. And should it progress further after he is reinstated further down the line, I say if he ends up being reinstated further on, and there is another issue after that, it would be an indefinite suspension with no guarantee of a
at that point. At that point, indefinite suspension. Not just, cut the damn cord. I'm sorry. Like, we're playing good cop, bad cop as it seems right now, and I'll play bad cop. I understand it's no joke, and it is a problem. Substance abuse is very prevalent, and it sucks, and people need the help they need. But when you're given the help that you need, and when you clearly have a very good support system in the assistance program and everything, it takes two to dance. It takes two to tango.
Let me go back to get you Johnson's exact comment here.
Go ahead.
Per the Denver Post, what Johnson's comment was, quote, he made his decisions. That's all I'm going to say on that. He made his decisions.
And I agree with them, because at some point you just need to be like, dude, you had the support system. We were here for you. The assistance program was here for you, and you're still doing it. Shape up or ship the fuck out. Sorry. That's how it goes.
And he's gone at this point. He has very likely played his last game as a member of the Colorado Avalanche.
Oh, God.
It's unclear if he's played his last game, period, in the NHL.
And as is tradition, in the next 6 months, when next season starts, Edmonton Oilers have signed Valeri Nichushkin.
Here we go.
What? Am I wrong?
All that to say, as much as you want to try and put those things out of your mind if you're the Avalanche,
it's tough.
It still seems like that's going to be something that weighs on you. Plus, they just got to kind of reset their lines here a little bit with Jonathan Drouin coming back. But I'm willing to bet if you had said at the start of the year, hey, come playoff time, Zach Parise is going to be a top 6 forward for you, they would be surprised to be moving past the first round.
Right, Deanna? Right?
Yeah, why does it seem so on brand for? Well, Evander Kane,
Corey Perry.
They have started to make.
If I had a nickel for every time the Oilers signed a problem player after they were out for a little while, I'd have 2 nickels. But it's weird that it happened twice.
Mm-hmm. But
are
we both picking Dallas tomorrow?
Oh yeah. It's like I said, blood in the water. The hand is around the throat, and they are going to execute. It's done.
Mm. I feel like that's kind of I don't want to say the biggest hurdle because, last year it was Vegas. This year they got Vegas out in the first round.
Right.
Then they have Colorado, who that's been a thorn in their side all year.
Yep.
You get the chance to move there, and then you're going to potentially end up with whoever from the Pacific. Dallas kind of has the inside track now in the Western Conference. Moving back to the East and looking ahead to Thursday.
Deanna tagged us in a post of Jim Montgomery about a penalty. He is awesome. I'll send it to you. That's so good.
Please do. Carolina Hurricanes trying to keep their playoff hopes alive. They were down 3-0 in that series and on the brink of elimination. They have survived a little bit, and they have pushed the series at this point to Game 6, which will be Thursday night in Carolina. Does Carolina force Game 7?
Woo, man. It's funny because I said, was this not the fastest round ever? And now all of a sudden, these teams
Right. I mean, you could potentially have Vancouver go up 3-1 tonight. You have Boston, who is trailing 3-1. They could be out tonight. You have Dallas up 3-1. You could have two teams already through to the next round and one about to close out before you get to Thursday. That'd be quick.
That'd be very quick. Deanna has got a good point. Carolina does have the momentum now. I wasn't surprised to see them, avoid the sweep. That to me was damn near inevitable. I don't think the Rangers were ever in any world going to go 8-0 to start these playoffs. Now, the fact that then they lose again, it's tough to argue with Deanna about the Big Mo is a thing. I don't know. I actually have no idea. This one is I want to say the Rangers are good now. They got the two massive slaps in the face after those, games 4 and 5. I don't know, man. I don't know.
And for a team that won their first 6 playoff games,
7.
Swept 7. You're right. I can't count.
7.
Yeah, because it was they swept the Caps and then won the first 3 of this series.
Mm-hmm.
They allowed 4 goals for the first time all playoffs in Game 4. Then did that again in Game 5.
Yeah.
We mentioned earlier in the show the importance of having your goaltender in big moments.
Mm-hmm.
If Shesterkin plays the way he had through the first 7 games, Rangers in 6.
Absolutely.
If he's off at all,
this goes
Carolina
to 7.
in 7 is right back on the table.
Right.
And you're looking at potentially blowing a 3-0 lead in the series.
Which would be the first time we've seen a 3-0 lead and that team lose since.
If they end up losing Game 7, that would have been 27? No, 18, where the Vegas had they were down 3-0. No, they were up 3-0 against the Sharks. Pavelski got cross-checked. 5-minute major. Sharks score 3 power play goals on that major, tie the game, and come back and win.
You're right. Yeah.
That was, I think, 2018.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Because that was the same year the Sharks made the Cup final, I think.
Oh, boy.
I'm trying to remember, too.
Or somewhere there.
Yeah.
Because 2017 was Vegas' first year. 2018. And I think they just made the conference final that year. I think their Cup run was 16 against Pittsburgh.
Oh, yeah. You're right. Okay. But you're right. I'm probably just going to go with the safe play and say that the Rangers, like I said, they figuratively speaking, they got smacked in the face by their coach, probably figuratively speaking. It's time to okay, we needed one loss. Fine. You probably needed it. Appreciate it. Second loss. I don't know if we needed that, but okay, now it's a good reality check of like, hey, we are far from invincible, boys. Let's go. I think that's going to be the mentality, and I do think the Rangers right the ship and end this in 6.
Teo said Carolina took the momentum. Could you say they are surging? Not only can we say that, we did. Go check our Facebook and the description on the YouTube page. That's how we referred to it.
Dan's got the puns.
That's what I'm here for. That's what I do. Mark letting us know the Bruins 2-1 lead after 40 minutes. So.
Ooh.
The biggest third period of the year coming up in that one.
Yep. Wouldn't that be something? We got the first round. Toronto wins both games without Austin Matthews, and then the Bruins potentially win the game without Brad Marchand.
Oh boy,
that's interesting.
It could be.
Potentially. We'll see.
Potentially. Joel, are you ready for Rank the Blank?
I'm always ready for Rank the Blank, Dan. What kind of question is that?
Kind of a dumb one.
We've covered all the playoff shenanigans. Who knows? Maybe by this time next week we're talking conference finals already. Who knows? I doubt it.
That's entirely possible.
I don't know about that. Well, we'll see though.
Your theme for this week is you are going to rank the best fictional hockey player.
Oh.
So from TV, from movies, from books, wherever, I have pulled 5 hockey players that could be considered in the running as the best fictional hockey player. Your job is to blindly rank them.
All right.
We're going to start out with none other than Gordon Bombay of the Mighty Ducks.
Quack. I'm about to get exposed because I actually haven't seen all of those movies, but
if you've seen enough of them,
I mean,
you started watching some. If you've seen one movie,
I've parts. Ooh, man, I'm gonna be conservative here and go 3.
Okay.
Oh yeah, B-Rad, you're your first time or long time viewer, first time caller. Get ready for this fun game.
Your next player to blindly rank, Reg Dunlop from Slapshot.
Let's go 4.
Okay.
What about any player from Miracle?
Not fictional.
I know. If only we had viewers that were like really young or like, like early teens and they were like, yeah, why aren't you naming any characters from Miracle?
Well, we did see a couple of names in the comments referencing Shorzy.
I see.
And while Shorzy is not the player that I chose to put on the list, instead, you have to deal with Jean-Jacques Francois Jacques Jean, a.k.a. JJ Frankie JJ.
JJ Frankie JJ.
Yep. Where are you putting Frankie on the list?
I'm playing favorites 2.
Okay.
Oh my God. Please tell me that Tooth Fairy is part of this. The Rock always wins.
The 4th player, Doug Glatt, Goon.
Ooh. I don't know if I can put him at 1.
But you have the extremes here. You've got 1 or you've got 5.
I know. Because I feel like I might know at least a direction The next one might go away. I'll go 5. I'm playing it safe. I might regret it. We'll see.
Where are we at here?
That's Sean William Scott's character, Dan, right? Yeah.
Hang on. He was the main guy.
Doug Glatt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know the name of the cast.
Sean William Scott. You don't know who Sean William Scott is?
I didn't have the name on the tip of my tongue. I'm trying to update our banners here too, and too many names and getting crossed over.
Is Adam Banks the last character?
Adam Banks is not. We limited to one player from the Mighty Ducks franchise, and I honestly probably should have put Julie the Cat Gaffney over Gordon Bombay on this list. If you had to guess, you saved that number 1 spot for a reason. Who did you save it for?
Is it any one of the Hanson brothers?
It is not one of the Hanson brothers. I also only went with one player from Slapshot, and that was Reg Dunlap.
Then would it be? Well, so you already did some. You already did Letterkenny.
It's not from Letterkenny or Shoresy.
So
it's
it
not from Mighty Ducks.
Not Riley or Jonesy.
Nope.
Why didn't you put Boomtown on this?
Because Boomtown would have been lower than Riley, Jonesy, Shoresy, JJ, Frankie, JJ, Hitch, Dolo,
Fiske,
Mark Michaels, Bartz, Yorkie, Schulte, Fiske.
Yeah.
He would have been after all those guys.
I love Rank the Blank like I love my wife. Intensely. Oh God.
But who do you think is in this number 1 spot? I will let you know if it's in.
I forgot his name, but it's not the main guy from Slapshot. Right.
Sorry, say that again.
It's not the main guy from Slapshot.
Yeah, it is. That's Reg Dunlap.
Reg Dunlap, right? Oh, okay. So we already did him.
Mm-hmm. Mark, don't worry. Yes, Goon it's a dumb movie. It's a funny movie. It's a dumb movie.
I'm going to go on right now and say I actually haven't even watched it.
Okay.
So I'm gonna watch it, but I like the cast. That's partially why. Man, I'm trying to think. I don't know if I have a guess. I thought I did, but I guess I'm wrong. So who did I put at 1?
In your number 1 spot, you put Happy Gilmore.
Oh, let's go! Yes, that wins. That would have been number 1. How did I not even think of that?
I had a slightly different list than what you had here, and in fact did not have Happy Gilmore at number 1.
Well, you're wrong.
best shot, certainly. Not a good skater, not a great puck handler, but a hell of a shot. Not going to deny that. My list, I had Reg Dunlap at number 1, JJ at 2, Happy Gilmore at 3, Gordon Bombay 4, Doug Glatt 5.
Who'd you have at 1?
I also thought about throwing in the Squid from Rocket Power, but I didn't know if you were going to pick up on. I didn't know if enough other people would pick up on that one too.
That's all also only street hockey, but
yeah, that too, which is another point against the Squid, but Squid
right.
was the best fictional goalie of any fictional goalie show character.
Raymundo. Yeah, I agree. I guess it's such a Bruins movie, but you know what? Right. I loved Rocket Power.
Rocket Power was a great show.
Literally, Kate and I, our secret handshake is literally just woogity, 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 woogity. We'll just walk or just woogity.
Deanna's got her list here. Happy Gilmore at 1, Reg Dunlap at 2, JJ Frankie JJ 3, Gordon Bombay 4, Doug Glatt 5. Yeah,
that was a good one.
Bombay, overrated. Controversial take of the night.
It's actually what I've heard. It's what I've heard. I haven't Jeremy's not on this stream, but he would be bashing me right now, being like, Joel hasn't even seen the Mighty Ducks. He would be right.
198 goals in his Pee Wee season, and he decided to hang him up because he hit the pipe on a penalty shot. And
Which
lost
one?
the game.
Which one had the drug problem?
I mean, that was Bombay, or like the actor, or the
yeah. The actor.
The actor was Goldberg.
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. Deanna's saying here too. Yeah. Good coach, not good player.
Oh, wait. Mateo's got a hot take.
Yep,
Before we sign off. Come on, Mateo. Bring it on.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my God. Whoa, Mark. What's happening? Uh-oh. Kuznetsov.
So, referring to the player who had a drug problem.
Oh, well. He's back, though, and the Eagle is soaring.
He's been playing well for Carolina.
He has. That's why that was a steal of a pickup. All right, Mateo, we're waiting for your hot take, man.
Well, we're waiting on Mateo's take here. Did we say you said Carolina's pushing it to 7?
No, I said the Rangers close.
Oh, you said Rangers should take in Game 6. Okay.
Yeah. So we kind of.
So we're different on that one, but we are the same on taking Dallas.
Dude, yeah, your Stanley Cup pick is looking golden right now, and mine looks like they're on life support.
By the way, look at that season leaderboard. For as bad as I was at the end of the regular season, close that gap a little bit here. I think we're going to run out of time getting back to 500 before the end of the year, but at the very least, getting things back for this year, definitely ending better than I was a couple weeks ago here. So,
all right, Mateo.
And how about that? Joey on the all-time leaderboard moves up.
Yes,
3. So Joey joined us last week for that show.
So Mateo has brought up his quote hot take.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the finalists for awards, it's more important to have a Selke finalist in the pursuit of a cup than having a Hart finalist. I would agree with you. I don't really think that. I actually don't even think that's a hot take. I mean,
well, here's where the hot part of that take comes in. To say that Selke is more important and valuable than the Hart. That's hard to say when the Hart is literally supposed to be the most valuable player.
And because it is a regular season award, you know.
So it's Selke though, but
no, I know, but like
we've had instances where a player has won the Hart and the team has either missed the playoffs or been like a playoff bubble team. It is much more rare to see somebody win best defensive forward and have his team miss the playoffs. That's a much rarer circumstance.
That brings up trivia. You were asking me questions. What is the last team to win a cup that also had the Hart Trophy winner on it?
I would have to go back and look at the numbers on that. I don't have the answer to that one off the top of my head.
I don't either, and I don't think it's very recent. I mean, like I can go back to.
I mean, let's see.
It's basically been traded off between. It's mostly been McDavid. We got Matthews.
Neither of them won. Kucherov, because 2019 they didn't win.
No, Ovechkin didn't win it the year that they won their cup. There it is. Mateo's got it.
Marty St. Louis, 2003, 2004. Wow.
I told you it wasn't recent. And no, B-Rad, no, it was never, because the year that Kane won the Hart, we got knocked out by the Blues in 7 games in the first round.
Yeah. And looking at
I mean,
well, here's the other problem. For Selke, you go back to for a winner, his team won the cup. You go back to 2013. Jonathan Taves wins for the Blackhawks.
Yep.
But also, the other names in that span, you have guys who are. Oh, actually, no, I take that back. 2019, Ryan O'Reilly, St. Louis Blues.
Oh yeah.
So never mind. So even more recent than that. So you have 2 in that span. You have Pavel Datsyuk winning with the Red Wings. You have Rod Brindamore winning with Carolina. So in that same span, you've got 4 different instances of a player winning the Selke.
Right. So, I mean, that part is absolutely not a hot take. Now, what about the Norris? I think.
All right, let's get the stats up.
So I want to say it's not this far back, I don't think, but I know Keith won one of his 2 I want to say the 2010 Cup, he won the Norris.
Well, I mean, we don't have to go back too far for a
That's what I figured.
Norris player who won the Norris and his team won the Cup. Cale Makar, 22.
Cale Makar, right, to 22. Duh.
Before that,
so I was right. I think Keith won his first one.
Before that, no, Keith won in 2014.
No, I know he won 2.
2010, his 2010 win, yes, would have been the next most recent.
Yeah, no, I know he won one after the second Cup, but it wasn't during the second Cup. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Also, how about those mid 2000s Red Wings having Nicholas Lidstrom winning 3 consecutive Norris trophies and winning 5 in 7 years, and then you've also got Datsuk taking 3 Selkies in that span.
It's almost like the Red Wings of that era were incredible. Weird.
Good at hockey.
Yep, just slightly good at hockey.
Joel, that's it. That's a show.
That's a show.
Thank you, everybody who tuned in and joined us tonight. We had a ton of comments throughout the show tonight. Absolutely loving that. Keep those comments coming. If you post comments during the week, if you didn't get to watch live but comment throughout the week, we'll answer your questions during the week while we wait for next week's show. Which, by the way, go ahead.
I was going to say, and by the way, well, yes, but by the way, Dan is right. And also get on YouTube, subscribe to our YouTube channel, give us a like. Like I said, give us a subscribe. I'm going to be
do what Deanna did. Hit the bell. Get the notification.
Hit the notification bell. We only do once a week stuff, but even if we start doing a little more often, it still won't be blowing up your phone. Like, it's okay.
Yeah, we promise not to bug you, except when we're live.
Exactly. In return, though, like Dan said, post comments. If you're on Twitter, YouTube, whatever, Facebook, chirp us too. Mateo's chirping me all the time. Oh, thank you.
Oh. All love. Hey, hugs and hand pounds, everybody.
B-Rad, you were a first-time caller. Don't make this your last-time caller.
Yeah, we'll see you right back here next week.
He called me old earlier, so that's what I said. Keep chirping me. He's only jealous, though, because he's older than me.
Same time, same place. We'll see you next week. He's Joel. I'm Dan. Enjoy your week, everybody.